Hello, everyone. This is Vicky from the customer support team. I wanted to welcome you into our first DART event. All right, and I couldn't be happier to be introducing you to our Enlight webinar. All right, we decided to go with Enlight Routes, running your business in time of social distancing, as our first ever webinar. Okay. And the reason we picked this subject is basically because we want to offer you tools to help you thrive in 2021 and overall have a successful year starting from the beginning. All right. And basically, in what seems to be very challenging circumstances. Okay. But we want to focus on what we can do for you, what we can do for your customers, and just make things happen, okay? And the way we are going to be doing this is I will do a 35-minute presentation that will be followed by a 20 minutes of Q&A, okay? So feel free to ask any questions that you have or that come to mind as I speak on the chat window on your right menu, I believe. And just know that this session will be recorded for future reference, all right? Also, any unanswered question, we will reply to over email in case we run out of time, okay? Let's get started. What we will cover today is, first of all, a very quick introduction into Enlight Mobile apps. Next, we are going to discuss the roles that are allowed into Enlight Routes, who has access, who doesn't, what are their functions, etc. That will be followed by just the full life cycle of a mobile order, both from the perspective of the store and the perspective of the driver. All right. Then we're going to talk about just really getting deep into Enlight Routes territory. We are going to go from the most basic functions to the more complex customization, okay? When we talk about that, we will be covering the difference between one-time stops and adding a new invoice as you do the route, okay? Which is one of the one important step that we think can make your process super efficient, all right? And then we are going to talk route reports and how you can keep track of your mobile orders and the driver's activity. And to finish the session, at least my part of the presentation, okay, we're just going to discuss a couple of extra things that we think is important that you don't miss, okay? To start, I'm going to just go real quick over Enlight Mobile and Enlight Routes. Those are both the Enlight mobile apps, all right, that we can offer for you and for your customers. If you search into your Google Play or the App Store, you are going to find Enlight Mobile and Enlight Routes. For those of you who don't know it, Enlight Mobile is the application for customers, all right? It is the app for customers where they can schedule pickup, they can update their profiles, whether it is their credit card information, different preferences that they can choose from, can check the order status, and now they can also pay for their orders, which wasn't possible before, all right? That also, of course, depends on what you want them to be able to do, all right? But just so you know, it is now an option, all right? And then you have Enlight Routes, which is the app for the driver, okay? Which will allow you and your driver to completely do and follow your pickup and delivery service and process, okay? The reason we started with the driver's app, okay, the reason we wanted to give you Enlight Routes first is because we think that as soon as your store employees, managers, driver, and yourself get and understand the full process of the pickup and delivery by itself, the easier will be for you to introduce your customers to the whole Enlight Mobile or the web portal. Let's now dive into Enlight Routes fully, and we're going to start this by talking about the users that have access to the app. We're talking about store owners, managers, and drivers. All of these have full access to all of the features in the app by default, okay? However, there are two important things to know. One, that settings can be different from device to device, and that is fine if you want to give your team or your employees the freedom to pick their different settings. But also, if you want to follow a more standard procedure and you want to make sure that everyone is following the exact same rules, the exact same filters, adding the exact same actions to the process, then just know that you can limit access to any employee that you consider needs to be blocked in a way from making changes in the settings of the device. Now, we are going to talk about the mobile order lifecycle. We have 4 different steps, all right? To start with, order is booked. There are 3 different ways in which your booked order can be scheduled, okay? One would be from the customer's app, okay? The customer can schedule it from the mobile app, which we will not be covering today. Number 2, the employee can book or create the order in the mobile order section of the POS. And number 3, the driver creates the order in the mobile app, okay? In the driver's app, Enlite Routes. And number 2, once your order is booked, your driver goes to the customer's place, either it is home or office, picks up the garments and take them to the store and plant. As the order is picked up and arrives to the store or plant, then the employee details this order and then the garments get processed, all right? Number 3, out for delivery. After being processed, the driver loads the van with everything that is ready, okay, and initiates the route. And to end this life cycle, the order gets delivered at the customer's place, all right? That would complete the full cycle of an order. Now, if we get into, we start getting into the functionality, okay? Here, I wanted just to present the 3 options of the booked order. So on the left, you will see the customer's mobile app, all right? Then in the middle, you see a tablet with the Enlight POS, where at the store, your employee can book mobile orders from the mobile order section. And on the right side, you have the Enlight Routes, all right, where your driver can add a one-time stop, can add a new invoice, and in that way, booking your 3 different ways of booking your orders, okay? So, and in this slide, okay, what I want to show you is basically all the main characters of this process. So customer who can not only just schedule over the app or web portal, but can also call the store and request a pickup, okay? And then we have the store with Enlight POS and the employees who would be involved in this part of the process, and then the driver who can book the order from the Enlight Routes. So let me show you how this store order gets created, okay? Mobile order from the store gets created, okay? You come to the mobile order section, okay? You will see your routes, the customers that have orders, and if you're ready to book an order, okay, your customer called in and you're ready to book an order for them, you come to this green bubble, all right? And we're gonna search for our customer here, and then for today, to be delivered on Friday, okay? You can change the time, you can change the dates, pick up and due date, all right? And click on new invoice. So pretty simple, all right? It will appear as a booked order, okay? Just so you know, you have the different mobile orders filters right here, all right? And these are already picked up orders for 2 different customers. And now we are booking one, all right? Now let's just get right into the app. Okay, let's jump into it. So I can also show you how to create the orders from here. First thing you'll find when you download your Enlight Routes is this little guy right here. This means that you need to pick your route filters, okay? So it will ask you to go to the settings. You open this. So either you can go from here or go from this little tool right here, okay? For the purpose of this webinar, okay, we are going to jump right into the filters, okay? So we're gonna do actions, we're gonna do route filters, we're gonna do stop filters and invoice filters, okay? For the other things, because we don't want to spend much time on those, all right? You have this question mark in here. If you click on the learn more, this will take you to our knowledge base article with all the details, okay? Every single thing that I will be explaining and more will be detailed in here, all right? Now, let's go to actions because this is where the magic of Enlight Routes happen, okay? And you have different options, okay? You can auto-select booked orders, all right? You can either auto-select past due orders, you can auto-select regular customers, which we will do, okay, for the purpose of this example. You can auto-advance route stops, which we will not be doing in this case. This means that as soon as you finish at a stop, it will take you straight to the next one, okay? And quick action buttons that we will also not be enabling right now, okay? Now, the new orders default status, you can predefine it, okay? It can be booked, picked up, which are the most used ones, all right? I'm gonna leave it at booked for now, okay? Then the route filters, all drivers or all days, this is one or the other or both of them need to be turned on in order for you to come in here and then see your routes, see? So this one was the all drivers, okay? And then you have all days too. I'm gonna turn on all days too. Optimization location can work from the device location. It can use the device location, or you can start at a place and finish somewhere else, okay? This is very frequently requested or asked about, okay? So just so you know, you can start in one place and finish your route at another, okay? Now, stop filters, very important ones, okay? So we have grouping stops. It can be none, or it can be by child accounts, which I normally have turned on, or by common address, okay? Then remove empty stops, no invoices. This is very useful. This will allow you to just keep the orders that you, the stops, I'm sorry, that have open invoices. And if there is no reason for you to stop at someone's place, then you don't have to. If there's nothing to be delivered, nothing to be picked up, then there's no reason to stop, okay? Now, this setting will be ignored by regular stops, okay? This is important because regular stops will appear on the list no matter what. Those, and that is the reason for it to be a regular stop, just so you don't get these filtered out by a setting like this one, okay? You can also have invalid stops be removed. I'm not gonna turn it on because since this is an emulator, I don't want to, I mean, it can give me some errors with the addresses, so I'm just gonna leave it off for now. Then we have the invoice filters, okay? Invoices due today, you can see on the list only, or past due, if you want to keep into consideration those orders that you should have delivered but haven't, and you want to have them show. The rack invoices and the paid invoices. So if you are one of the stores that always do prepay for their mobile orders, okay? So you, before leaving the store, you charge your customers. Then if you have this one turned on, what will happen is that if you scan an invoice that the payment didn't go through or something happened or you forgot to charge that customer, then it will give you a warning saying that's the case. So your driver or yourself can go back and look at what happened, all right? Then we have the customer notifications that can be sent when the route will be serviced, when the driver is en route, once the order has been delivered, and once the order has been picked up, okay? You can pick your different hardware. You can have your driver bring a printer and a scanner, okay? All right, so for more details, okay, and if you have questions about specific settings that I'm not mentioning right now, please type those questions in. If not, then I will continue anyways, okay? Now, we have this one, okay? We have our routes right here. So I'm going to start mine, okay? With this webinar route. It's telling me that not all coordinates have been found. Seems like some addresses, the red ones, are not being recognized. It can be because they are incorrect, because I entered them incorrectly, or it can be in this particular case because the emulator is not recognizing those, okay? So, oops, I'm sorry. So, okay, it's good that I came into this customer. You can click on a customer profile that, on a customer name that appears in here, okay? And you can come in this little profile where you can edit information if you needed to, all right? Or add customer notes, all right? Or send a message directly, or add an invoice straight from this screen, okay? And that is one way of booking an order if you had to, okay? In this case, this is already a regular stop, so I have to stop no matter what, okay? But it could be the case for any of these other customers, okay? So I'm going to do, for example, here, and I know that I have already picked up order that has been detailed, okay? I can see the details, I can add or see notes or see the status, okay? So for example, in this case, this is a dry clean shirt with all the information that I have to see, right? And again, you can see the status and you can see if it has been paid or not. You can cancel an order or you can send a message from this screen, all right? Now, I have two customers with picked up orders that now will turn into out for delivery as soon as we start the route. We have this customer with a booked order, all right, that we are gonna go pick up. And we have this regular stop right now. At this point, is when you really have to sort your stops, okay? And if you click on this little list right here, you will be able to see that you can sort as with the default option, which is the stop numbers that you give these customers when you enter them in Enlight. Then you can sort alphabetically, by date, manually on the same screen, and optimize, which will optimize by proximity, okay, using a map provider, all right? From the same screen, you can, and this is what I wanted to mention about the adding a one-time stop or an invoice, okay? So I'm gonna click on this little man right here, and I will search my customer. And I'm going to add, okay, so I know this customer doesn't belong to this route, okay? So I can add a one-time stop, all right? And I will do so. There you go. So here it is, this customer with 0 invoices, just a one-time stop, okay? Now, I will open this, and I'm going to select the ones that I did. I think I left out a book turned off, honestly. Should have been on, all right? And I can scan, okay, the invoices that I'm taking, all right? I'm pretending that I'm scanning at this point. Okay, so see, this one gets selected. Then we have this other one. Okay, I can, of course, scan everything that I have in front of me at the same time, okay? And in this case, this is just a one-time stop that I need to click on, okay? Now, there is one option of just having everyone scan no matter what, all right? but that is with a setting. So you would need to request that one, okay? So now we can see that we have 5 stops. This is what this is telling me. I have 5 stops and already 3 invoices that I know exist. I have 2 to be delivered and 1 that is booked. So I'm going to go pick it up. And I have 1 regular stop that I need to stop no matter what. And I have this one-time stop that I just added, okay? So this is before starting the route. And then I'm going to show you how it works after I start the route, if I wanted to include a one-time, just an additional stop to this route. Okay, so I will click on start. Right at that point, everything that was picked up will automatically be changed into out for delivery. Okay, so we arrive at this point. We can see the stops either in the map view or this list view. All right, but let's use the map for now. When you arrive, you click on this green bubble in here. Okay, so this is a booked order, and I'm going to either click in here when I pick it up, or I can come in here and change the status to picked up. Okay, and I can add a note, right, and save it. So this is my note, this is my status, this is ready, and I could I could take a picture, and I can also force the driver to take a picture. All right, same thing with scanning or clicking in here. I could click on it or be forced to scan it. Okay, in this case, I'm just going to continue. So this is one thing right here, and this is the total due, just for the cases in which you have your driver also be your payment collector. You can have the total as a reminder there. Okay, so here you will see also the progress. Okay, on this bar on top with the 5 stops, we know we completed 1, and then we go to the next one, and we stop in here to deliver an order. Okay, so here you arrive at this stop, and you can be forced to scan and forced to take a picture. Okay, so I'm going to scan in this case. All right, so you will see it like this, the number of pieces and the total 1356. Click on this one. All right, so it changes the status to delivered. You can send a message to the customer, all right, or not, and be done with this. Okay, so again, see, you see this total due pop up in here. Okay, now again, the progress in here, you can see it. Let's arrive at this stop. This is a regular stop. Okay, so I come in here, and this one is empty. Okay, these alerts that we're seeing is because we are using the emulator to show you the examples. Okay, so this one is empty right here. The reason for that is this is the regular stop. Nothing has been booked, but when I arrive, or nothing is ready to be delivered. Okay, but when I get here, the customer has left a bag. Okay, so what I do is I click on this plus sign in here and enter the total of items. Items can mean the total of garments inside of a bag, or it can be the bag itself. So let's say 1 bag, and I am picking up. All right, and I can be adding a ticket note right here and submitting. Okay, now this is the picked up. When I'm ready to click on done, I will see this warning. The reason for this warning is that the number of invoices when I started my route has changed. Of course, now I have 1, I had 0 before, but I can simply continue. This is just simply, it's more useful when you are delivering things, all right? So you can make sure that everything that you are dropping off is being, or delivering, is being scanned, okay? But in this case, I can continue, all right? Then we have our total due as well, continue, and then I have stop here, number 4, and I need to deliver this one right here. So I will do that. Again, I can scan it. I can change the status from here, or I can simply click in here, okay? And done, total due. Now let's say that you have to include a new stop right here, okay? So you come to the view, the list view that you have in here, all right? And you click again in the little dude right here, and we add, let's say, a customer that does belong to this route, but didn't have any open invoices. Now the customer called and said, I really need a pickup. So you come in here. So since this is a customer that belongs to this route, I need to add a new invoice, okay? And I book this new invoice with 0 pieces or just 1 bag, okay? Or whatever the amount of pieces, if I know it already, okay? And then I submit it, okay? When you add a one-time stop or a new customer with an invoice to the list, then you can rearrange, okay, the way your stops have been sorted, okay? In this case, I will simply continue with my map view. I will stop here. I will pick up. This one was the one-time stop that I added at the beginning. So I will come in here and pick up my things and continue, okay? And yes, there is a difference between how many things you had when you started and now. And final stop is Troy Barnes, and we arrive here. This one had an already picked up order, yes, that I had before, and then a booked order, okay? So we are picked up, and done, okay? Now I will continue, okay? And we are ready to finish our route. This button right here will allow you to either pause if your driver is going to take a lunch break or something, they can pause it so they don't have to rearrange everything again, and which is recommended actually, just to pause. It can be included in their time card or not, or they can simply just end the route if they're really done it all, okay? Which by the progress in here, you can see that everything was completed, okay? So we end the route. Are you sure? Yes. Perfect. So this is what we see now. We don't see the initial 2 stops that we had because we already delivered. So everything that was delivered is not going to show anymore on the list, okay? So we completed our route. And if we come in here to the system, go to mobile orders as an employee, oops, I'm sorry, as an employee, okay, you will now see the picked up orders that we took from a process, okay? Then you, of course, come in here and go to detail the order. You come in here to this edit invoice, and you check whatever it is inside of the bag, and you detail it with whatever it is, and ready. I'm going to say nothing printed for now. This is just test, save it. Okay? Excellent. Now, for the customization, real quick, you can have read-only users, as I was saying, depending on the user role. You can have your drivers have some options disabled if you wanted to. Then you can have a valid delivery distance, all right? If your driver isn't at the right predefined distance between the house and the actual house and the address that they have recorded in store, okay, then it will not allow them to deliver the garments, okay? So they actually need to be within a specific distance, okay? As I said, you can hide the select all option or the select one when you are picking the orders or scanning the orders or just checking manually the orders. At the stop, you can force a picture or you can force a delivery, okay? And then you can have the total due show on this driver screen if they are the ones collecting payments. And you can also have a release form in the cases where you decide to have the driver capture the customer signature when they either pick up or deliver something. All right. Okay, and one of the last things, okay, that we are going to be reviewing is the route report. You can have a report be automatically sent to either driver or manager or owner. Okay, this needs to be requested to our team if you want it. Okay, it will present a summary of what happened, the time it started, when it ended, how long it lasted, the number of stops. Then the customer, in the details, you will see the customer name, the invoices that were picked up or delivered, the status to which it changed, all right? Then if there are notes, you will see the notes. If there are pictures that were taken, those pictures will appear on the details. If the signature was captured by the driver, it will also appear on this report, okay? Then you have some other reports that you can find in the report section of Enlight POS. We will be having an article in our knowledge base be created with the details that you can find in these reports, all right? Now, the last thing that I want to share is that, yes, there is more. I have mentioned some of these things already. One is that you can have a Bluetooth printer integrated with your system, so the driver can print quick tickets at the moment of pickup, okay? In the mobile order section, you can have now the mobile order status be changed also from the POS, not only from the driver's app, okay? These can be limited also by user role. If you don't want to have kind of role allowed to have these kind of permits, then you don't have to, okay, the permission to do so. And also that you have the mobile orders view by mobile status, and you can see that now we have a new view that is called the not detailed, okay? This not detail will, we believe, is a great feature that will allow your employees to not miss on anything that was not detailed, okay? So basically, those are the things that you can request, okay? And I think we're ready for your questions, okay? So let's see what we've got. Let's see what we've got here. We've had some of our team members gather the questions that you have been asking. So let's review those, okay? Thank you so much.
And now, Vale, from our team, will be, from the sales team, will be joining me to help me kind of go through all of your questions, and she will be asking your questions and I will be answering them, okay?
Hi,
Hello.
Vicky.
Hey, Vale.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today on this first webinar. We are so happy to have you here. We have some amazing questions. I don't know if you want to jump right into them.
Of course, of course. Let's see what people are asking.
Okay, the first question comes from Angela. She's asking us, how can we let the customer know that my driver is going to pick up their orders?
Okay, that's a good one, and thankfully an easy one to start. First of all, thank you, Angela, for being here. I'm glad you were able to join. All right, so here we have driver's app. Okay, I'm going back. And if you want to, there are different notifications that you can send, as I was mentioning before. And I hope that's what you're referring to. But there are 4 moments in which you can inform your customer, like update your customer, okay? One is when the route will be serviced, meaning when the route will be serviced means the driver is at the previous stop, okay? Then you have the driver en route. You can also notify the customer as soon as your route starts, okay? You can notify your customer as soon as the order has been delivered and also when it has been picked up, okay? Those are automatic notifications that you can enable or disable at this point, all right, before starting your route. And then you can decide if you want to send the message during the route or after the driver finishes delivering and closes the route. And the reason for this is that maybe you update a customer incorrectly or go pick up something at the wrong stop, or, you know, different things that in this case, it will give you the time to repair the mistake, or simply just updating your customer saying, okay, this has been, and this is, I'm sorry, this one right here, the after one is only for the delivered or pickup. Route will be serviced or in route means, I mean, those will be as soon as you start the route, okay? Or are at the previous stop. Hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you.
So the second question we have is from Nancy. She's asking us, what are those mobile order views you were mentioning?
Hello, Nancy. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so I'm right at the I'm at the exact place actually. Okay, but I'm going back to the main menu. All right, just to show you here if in the mobile orders, and this is something very recently updated. Okay, you can see here different views now, okay? So you can simply see your booked orders. In this case, we don't have any, okay? Or just picked up, okay? Or out for delivery. And then we have this one new that I just mentioned, is the not detailed one. And this is not actually a mobile status filter, but it's a very useful thing because the not detailed will show you, okay, so I'm sorry, all orders, we have 4 picked up, okay? From these 4 orders, you can see which ones have not been detailed. All right, this removes the one that have been detailed and are being processed. This here, not detailed ones, means that you haven't been able to process them because they have not been detailed in the system. All right, and that will prevent many errors and many complications for your employees at this, I mean, for the driver, but also employees at the store. Okay, so yeah, that's what I meant by those views. All right, what else?
Okay, the third question comes from Charles. He asks us, I want to use the optimization. How does it work? How does the app define the optimal way to run the route?
Hi, Charles. Okay, thank you, Ale. All right, optimization, okay. Well, I don't need to come here, but I just will be on this page. So I'm gonna come here, as I was explaining. And I will open this little list view here, like this list with a little arrow here, okay? This will allow you to, as I explained, sort by different criteria, right? So if you use the optimized one, first you need to know that this is handled and managed with Microsoft Maps, okay? In Microsoft Maps and with Microsoft Maps, I'm sorry, we work with different parameters, all right, in order to make your route, as you say, I mean, the most optimal, all right? So it will take in consideration proximity, highways, traffic jams. But this is all handled by, actually by Microsoft Maps. It is not defined by Enlight, but in conjunction with Microsoft Maps, okay? Hopefully that answers the question. And just so you know, what it does is that it will always kind of, I mean, if you're starting from the same point and finishing at the same point, it will kind of do like a circle. It will make a circle, all right? So you go one way and come back to the different addresses on the other way, okay? It takes you back to the same place. It will not, by default, it will not go like in a zigzag or something like that. It considers it like a circle, all right?
Thank you, Vicky. This next question, I received it twice. They ask us, where do I capture the signature?
Yeah, I knew. Okay, thank you, Vale, because I knew that one would come up because I mentioned it at the end in the presentation, but I didn't explain it in the settings. All right, so yeah, this is one of these settings that you can learn more about here, but of course I will gladly explain it right now. And I'm glad you asked this one because this is a very fun for me to explain, all right? So the customer signature capture, okay, you enable it here, okay? This is just very easy to have, I mean, you can enable it or disable as you want, okay? And then what it does is that when you deliver or you pick up something, then it will, your driver can ask the customer to sign, okay? And that's what I was mentioning about the form, the release form on the capture signature setting, okay? So here, I'm gonna do it real quick. I'm gonna use this order that has been picked up, okay? So I'm now going to deliver it, all right? And I will, oops, go open. I'm only going to take this one right now, okay? Again, I bet Nadir was picked because he is a regular, but I'm not gonna use that one right now. So I'm gonna start this route with this order. I'm gonna continue. And here we have our stop. We arrive here. And if you have the capture signature enabled, you will see this little pen right here, okay? And you can do same as you can do with the picture, that you can take a picture of an invoice or you can take a picture of the full order. Same thing you can do with the capture signature. You can capture the signature just for one invoice or you can do it for the whole thing. I'm gonna use the whole thing for this example, okay? And so you can, as I said, you can use any release form that you, I mean, anything that you want to mention here or any additional link they need to go to, all right? And then here you have on their screen, on the driver's screen, the customer will be able to sign as they want. And I'm gonna do this little thing right here and save it. Now, that signature will be also reported in the route report, okay? Next to the order. Next to the order, if it was booked or if it was delivered, in any way, it will be printed on the route report, okay? As the pictures would too. Yeah, and so, yeah, that one is, it's very useful for some of our customers. And I think a pretty good one too, depending on, of course, the type of garment, because maybe there is a special delivery, because not all the time you're going to have someone to receive the order. But if that is the case, if you only deliver when there is someone to receive, then I recommend this one being enabled. Okay.
Thank you, Vicky. So I think we're running out of time. I think we have time for one more question.
Okay.
The next one is, we tried scanning the customer receipt and it says invoice not found. Why? What are we doing wrong?
Can you repeat that one, Valen? Just 1 second.
Yes, of course. It says, we tried scanning the customer receipt and it says invoice not found. Why? What are we doing wrong?
Okay, yeah, all right. So the answer is in the question, actually. and the answer is this. You need to scan invoices only, meaning those that have the -1, -2, -3. Customer receipts cannot be scanned cannot be scanned for selecting invoices, because as you can see here, and I'm going to show you here, what you see here are invoices. So if you scan a customer receipt, it will not recognize it. All right. And also because this order could have many other invoices, like it could have 14635-1, -2, -3, -4. And if you scan the customer receipt contains all of the 4 invoices. So that's why we manage those by invoice. And same thing as we do in Enlight. Like if you rack by invoice or assemble by invoice, same thing, or pay by invoice. Everything as we do in the point of sale, we do here in this situation. All right. So that would be the answer to that.
Thank you. Do we have time for one last question?
Sure. Yes, I think we have. Okay. Yeah, I think 7 minutes. So
okay, perfect. So the next question and the last question is, how many orders can I scan for a route?
Well, this is an interesting question, because you can scan as many, what you said, orders or invoices, right? In this case, invoices. How many invoices you can scan for the route? Mm-hmm. You can scan as many invoices as you have ready. However, just consider the settings that you will have enabled, right? So if you're filtering some things out, they may not appear on the list, okay? And the other thing is, is that clear, Vale? Yeah, right?
Yes,
okay.
I think so.
All right, the other thing is, in regards to that same question, is that if you scan an invoice now, and I need to make sure, I need to check, but I think it's by default, but maybe you need a setting enabled. I would need to check, and we will confirm on the email that we're going to send to everyone that came to the webinar. But if you scan an invoice that does not belong maybe to this route, for example, it's not part of this list, all right? If you scan it, then you will have a pop-up window asking if you want to add this as a one-time stop, okay? You could add it as a one-time stop or a one invoice. Add one invoice as a one-time stop to a route to which that invoice doesn't belong. Just so it is an option, okay? Of course, it will not do it just add it as a one-time stop. It will ask you if you want it that way, okay? So I hope that was clear. I hope that was clear for everyone.
I think so. And that was our last question.
Okay, Ale. So I think those were very good questions. Very, very good questions. So any words you want to say, or?
Yes, thank you for your questions and thank you for joining us today. And Vicky, I'll let you close.
Thank you, Ale. Yeah, same thing. I second Vale on that. Thank you everyone for joining. At this moment, oh, I see we have 23 participants. I was just too focused on everything else. I didn't know how many people were here. But I'm glad you joined. Just as a reminder, the session was recorded and we will be sending out an email on Monday. Correct me if I'm wrong, Vale.
Yes, on Monday.
Okay, on Monday we will be sending this session out, and yeah, you will be able to see the whole thing again. Okay. Now, if you have any other questions that came up after just this conversation or any other concerns that you kind of are not sure about how to handle it or with your process, just let us know. Send an email to support@darkpos.com and we'll be, of course, very glad to assist you. The third thing that I wanted to say is super important. If there is any setting or um, process that I explain here that you really would like to implement and you want, like, I want this setting enabled, or I want this, well, the settings you can enable, but if you want any customization made for your process, also make the request to support@darkpos.com and we will just set everything up and update you as soon as it's ready, just so you can test it, okay? And the last thing I wanted to say is we hope to see you on our next webinar, all right? We will be sending the details very soon. I'm not sure exactly in the next exactly which day it will be, all right? But I guess in the next couple of weeks, you will be receiving new information regarding the next webinar, all right? And if you have any feedback, any comments that you want to share with us, also send it to either sales or support. And I really hope you enjoyed this session. We were excited to prepare it for everyone. And yeah, we're glad you were able to join. And we hope to see you very soon, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Vicky. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.